Hello, 1, 2, 3, testing. Yes, sir. Now we need to fix Cubase so you can hear it. Multi-out switch. Nope. This works always like a charm. Not. In the setup of OBS, I'm using OBS to record this and to stream. I stream on Twitch these days. Twitch. It's for games, but fuck it. Preferences. I switch the audio interface back and forward, then it works. Okay, what did I do? I made a song. I mixed and mastered it, and I used some hardware stuff. I have some warm audio, pool tech style EQs, and the Tegeler Vari tube compressor, which I always use on my mix bus. So I thought, let's try to replicate the sound which I got with this master with the hardware with just plugins. And so I did that. I sent it to a friend of mine, and this was his reaction.
Okay, I've been asked by Jonathan to do this review on this masters of I Failed. So let's do this. First one.
Every time you get knocked down, I've got a saying: if life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. See, a lot of people, because of failure, they stop believing. Let me share something with you. You will fail daily.
Okay, I'm gonna skip to the next one just to check this part, you know. Okay, let's hear that again, but then in the first master. Sounds a little bit bigger in the first master, but maybe it's just perception. But let's hear that again. It feels less big in the second master, but like I said, maybe it's just perception. I don't know. Yeah, same. Still master 2 and it feels less big. Let's hear the guitars now.
Two hours later.
The first one. It has much more of an impact on me, the first master. It's fuller. It has more depth. It's more full. The second one feels a little bit more dull to me.
3 hours later.
Yeah, the first one is fuller. It's just more enjoyable to hear the first one than to hear the second one. Let me see. Immediately it sounds dull to me. When I switch to the second master, let me skip just a little bit. Solo part.
80,000 impressions later.
This sounds better. The first master to me sounds better. So my final verdict: the first master is better. Yeah, sounds less dull. Sounds bigger, more depth, more wideness. Yeah, it's just fuller. Maybe it's psychological. maybe you're gonna tell me they're both the same master, but for me the first one sounds more fuller. So okay, it's my final verdict.
So he heard the difference in depth and some low ends. So I thought, let's try it again and record it, and share it with you, and see, maybe you have some thoughts about it, or some different stuff I can use to mimic the hardware sound I'm getting from the first master. So please leave comments or ideas so I can use it, so you can use it for your masters in the future. So I'll show you first what I did. So this is the hardware master version. Loud as fuck. So what was my inserts? First off, I went through a Neve style mix bus. Then I go put the drive up at its basic settings, nothing really special. Then a Neve style EQ. I don't think I'm boosting. Yeah, you can see 0.44 dB on the high end, and this is the same setting I used on the hardware master. Then the FGA with, let us see, almost 1 dB on the 10K shelf. Then 2 dB on 5K boosts. Yeah, and that's it for this. Then through a virtual tape machine, did I do something here? No, nothing. Just tape emulation on a 2-track, a 1/2-inch 2-track pop. Love this plugin. Pro Q. Yeah, just use it as some compression on 3K and a shelf with just some compression. It's like 1.5 dB here, so it's not doing a lot. So it's just reacting on some peaks a little bit to tame that harshness. We got, what did we have here? Yes, this was the replic. I tried to replicate the pool text style EQs with this EQ. I know it's not the same emulation, but the first time around I tried this to see if I could replicate it and get my friend fooled. So, but it didn't fool him. So this is not going to work. This is the same setting I use on the pool text on 60, because it's got a 60 hertz switch. Yeah, so but that's not gonna work for then we got into a compressor. This is a famous Focusrite Red compressor that CLA uses, what I've been told, but it's not really a replication of a Varimu or a Varitube compressor, but I tried it out. And finally, FGX to make it loud as fuck. Okay, but that didn't work. Some differences I can show you. So please give me your verdict in the comments, what you think, if my friend is right about the differences these two masters have. So that was this version. Now we're gonna just reset this channel and do it again. Yes, reset please. And use some different plugins for this time. I love L2. Yeah, what I like to do is just to get it to a level, certain level, and then adjust the taste, not first EQing and compressing. Yeah, the limiter is like a compressor, right? But so first putting it on, yeah, like -10 RMS to 8. I'll always aim for -8 at the end. I like my masters loud. If you have different opinions, please let me know. But I like it loud. So my experience is on the online streamers. If you master it lower, like -10 or 12 RMS or -14 LUFS, whatever the fuck you want to call it, they will sound softer than the competition, than the big, yeah, the big productions. So, and I don't want that. I want it to be louder, or just as loud, of course. So that's why I'm pushing to -10 RMS or -8 RMS. So first off, we're gonna pump this up. And unlike FGX, you can actually see on the FEP filter how much it's compressing. For now, you can see it's reacting to mostly the snare hits because of the biggest transients over there. But if you get, so like you can see, there is not a lot of crest factor. That means we can get this fucker loud. There we go. What I like to do is copy this, and copy this over, because these are the same plugins I used on the hardware master, but yeah, the hardware master got the pull text on there and the Varitube. So Let's see what we got now. So it's still lacking some high end, some depth to it. I have some actual pull text style plugins, so let's try that. This one. I think this is a free plugin by Ignite Amps. So if you're looking for a pull text style plugin, try this. Always be a little bit careful with boosting low end. If you look at this meter here, and you see the RMS level will go up, and the compressor, the limiter will react more to it, to the low end, but it's not really getting louder. You're getting more low end, but it will not perceive as louder mix, if you know what I mean. So watch this meter here. Normally I aim for -8. So when I boost low end, the RMS will go up, but it won't get any louder.
Overcoming the negative conversation, that inner dialogue is going on all the time. Even when you don't want it to be there. You can't stop yourself right now from thinking.
So I'm gonna leave it at 2 for now. I also boost some 10K on the pull tech.
Overcoming the negative conversation, that inner dialogue is going on all the time. Even when you don't want it to be there. You can't stop.
Still missing some mid-range. Getting close. I'm going to shut down the mic because I want to hear it on the speakers. I don't really like mixing or mastering on headphones. So yeah, I'm gonna cut it out in the video, but then you know what happened.
matter how many times people tell you that you can't do it. It doesn't matter if you don't have a dime in the bank. You will fail your way to success.
My trust is gone, drained of my existence. The worst that can happen is this distance. This was imminent. Why was I so? Yeah, it's getting really close. But it's just a vibe thing, I guess. What the Vari tube does, I don't know. I don't really compress it really hard. Just the needle is just moving a little bit, and it always, yeah, I don't know, just tightens it up. It's like the puzzle, the Tetris thing. It will clean it up, the sound. I don't know how to describe it with fancy words. But that's what's missing. So let us see if we can use something that emulates a Vari tube. We got this thingy by Slate. What this compressor does is it without touching any knobs, it already gives it some high-end stuffy stuff. I don't know what it does, but it's not compressing. It doesn't do anything. But the plugin just put the plugin into the insert. It will do something to your sound. I will demonstrate. Where was my consciousness? Ignorance isn't always bliss. Did I need to save you? I needed a savior, 'cause as you can hear, it, I don't know, it's like just like if you put an EQ on. I find this a little bit strange. I don't own a real Vari Mu. Never worked with it, so please tell me, somebody in the comments, if these things do that. If you just put it in without any settings, will it add like high end or something? Because my Vari tube doesn't do that. It just cleans it up. That's the best way I can describe it. But I don't really like it on distorted guitars. It gets fuzzy, crispy, too crispy to my taste. So I don't know if this is the compressor we end up using for this. That's what I mean. No, I don't like it. Let's try this baby. This is SSL style bus compressor. So it emulates an SSL style bus compressor. The last time I used this baby, I really like it. It's really transparent, but it doesn't add that that depth, that bloody blue blee. So let's try this baby.
Two hours later.
I like that it has a high pass filter on it. I guess the other one has it too. Yes, baby. Where did I put this? 60. So that will, let all the low end through. Let it breathe. And just compress the 120 hertz and up.
Conversation that dialogue is going on all the time. Even when you don't want it to be there. You can't stop yourself right now from thinking. You can't do it. It's going on. And so learning how to empower yourself, part of doing that is standing up to yourself. You got to stand up inside yourself sometimes and say, shut up!
Yeah, so I think this is the closest I can get it with just plugins. Please let me know in the comments if the investment in hardware is worth it. Hardware is fun to use, but let me know in the comments if you think it's worth it. And how close did I came with my headphones? It's not really the way I like to go, but for the videos, it's easier to use headphones. Thanks for watching. Jonathan out. Ridderkerk Productions.